What's going on? All right, welcome back. We sort of just broke the video in an uneventful spot. We've got our script. There's some prompts. It doesn't actually do anything just yet, though. So just to remind ourselves where we're up to, we've defined a set of modes, and the user can select a mode based on their user input, 1, 2, or 3. They then choose a gap for when it shuffles them out, putting a gap between them. And then we iterate through all the selected items and we build this items table with a bunch of stuff in it. A reference to the item itself, start position, length, and end position. And that's all we've done. So the next thing that we're going to do is the actual sorting of this stuff. Cool, so this is where our current mode comes in. So what we're going to do is we're going to check what the current mode is and see if it equals any of these. Well, it has to equal one of those, so we'll see which one of those it equals. So if current mode is modes.forwards, then sort forwards. However, if current mode is reverse, and if, oops, that's if, or if current mode equals shuffle. So there's our 3 modes. Just double check that I have the spelling right. Forwards, reverse, shuffle. Forwards, reverse, shuffle. Sort in reverse order. Yeah, etc., etc. Maybe those comments are a bit redundant, aren't they? Cool. So we'll define some functions for these, even though they're quite small, but that's what we did in the demo. So we'll have one for sort forward. We'll have one for sort backwards, sort reverse, and we will have one for shuffle. Cool. Copy those so that they're spelt exactly the same. Sort forwards. Trying to type too fast, aren't I? What an embarrassment. All right. Sort reverse. And shuffle items. Where did he go? Hey, there we go. All right, so if we're on the forwards, it's going to jump over to this function and vice versa. All right, so let's do one at a time, I guess. So it's going to use this table.sort function. And we sort the items table based on a set of rules, right? Now, first of all, we need to check where the reference to items is. So items is down here. So I think what we need to do is we need to just declare the reference to this earlier on. So maybe up here. So there we go. So that way this is before this and it's not going to freak out because when it reads it top to bottom, it knows what it's looking at. Cool. So we're sorting the items table with a rule. All right. So what is our rule going to be? It's going to be a function, and the function is going to look at two elements in the items table, and based on based on which has the smaller start pos, it's going to order it that way. So, you know, if it takes 2 items at random, one of the start positions is 10, one of them is 20, it's going to put the item with the start position of 10 before the one with 20. So the way that we write that, this argument itself is a function. There's 2 items, A and B, and we're going to return where the items, A, which is at one of the items, A dot start pos is less than B dot start pos. End. Yeah. A is less than B. So that's how it's ordering it. So we're on forwards. Yeah, let's just do it, and yeah, cool. So it wouldn't have done anything because we're sorting the table, but we're not actually moving any items on the timeline, so there's nothing tangible to see yet. But it went through that just in the code, and it didn't freak out, so that's a good thing. Cool, so let's come back to these. Let's finish implementing this one just to make sure that we are doing it correctly. So at this point here, we've sorted at least this one. Haven't done these yet. But we've sorted those, and now we're going to iterate through all the entries, space them out based on that newly sorted table. All right, so yeah, so it's going to be one of these for loops. An iPairs loop which goes through one by one the indexed elements in the table. So what do we want to do? So outside of the for loop, we have a next position variable that gets updated each time. And it starts off as, so next position starts off as the first item's position, which is like the leftmost item's position. So that's something that we need to get up front. So probably back here. I don't know if you can hear that. My dogs are howling. Oh, that's heartbreaking. I think I might have to break the video. Ah, oh, poor guys. All right, I'll be back. Whew, okay, I'm back. They're free, so there might be some interruptions from the puppies, but that's okay because they're very, very cute. So where are we? Right, so we're gonna, oh yes, so we're gonna get the first item's position, and that's gonna be our first next item. Very good, that one, mate. All right, so first item, we're gonna get a reference to the 0th item. So leftmost position is going to be the position of that item. All right, so that's our leftmost item. There we go. So next position is going to start off as leftmost item. There we go. All right, so we're going to use that for the new position. So new pos is going to be next position. And then set this position. So we set the position on the item, on this item, calculate the new next position for use in the next iteration. All right, so set position, set media item position. There we go. So yeah, right. So we're iterating through the items table. So let's just remind ourselves of how that's formatted. So each iteration of V, each time we go through the loop, V is equal to one of these things. So V.item is the reference to that particular media item. And that is what we want to set it on, V.item. Now, position is going to be next position. Oh no, sorry, new position. And refresh UI can be true. Cool. So then calculate the next position for use in the next iteration. All right, so next position is going to be, let's write it out in words. The end position of current item plus the specified gap. Cool. So the end position of the current item will be v.pos. Remember, v refers to this whole entry. v.endpos is that guy. So v.endpos, specify gap. Specify gap is 1. User input gap. Oh, so see here, I've made a mistake. So user specify gap is declared there. User input gap is a different name. So we want to be consistent. User input gap is the variable name that we're using. Now I have a feeling that I did it differently in the demo. So let's just test this. Something's gonna go wrong. Let's find out what it is. What did it do?
1, 2, 3, 4.
So it got the item, so it got the order right. So that is 1, and then these look like 0.5 increments. Because I remember in the demo, it incorporated I into this calculation. So let's look up here and think about it. So this is the leftmost item. It's going to be whatever this value is. That's going to be the first one. This is v.endpos of the first iteration, and then it's going to add specified gap. So that's going to be our new next position. So then now we're here, and this is the second iteration loop. So new pos is going to be here. Now we've got yeah. This is not right, is it? So what does it have to be? Let's get rid of that comment as well. So it's got to be. So So new pos plus v.length, not len, length, v.length plus the user specified gap, the user input gap. Is that right? Forwards, 1 second. There we go.
1, 2.
Yep. All right, let's try one more, and this time we'll do 0.2. Okay, cool. All right, we're back on track. I did it differently in the demo. I'm not quite sure what I did now. It was definitely working. I became part of the calculation. Anyway, doesn't matter. We've got it going. All right. Yeah, update timeline. Let's do that. It appears to be updating already. I'm a bit confused about that, but that's okay. Can call it anyway. Can't hurt. All right. Sweet. So that is the forwards type. Now I mentioned, now that we have that, I mentioned how easy the reverse type was in the demo video. But yeah, regardless of whether you remember what I said or otherwise, maybe pause the video and see if you can get the sort reverse function filled out. That might be a good exercise to do. So pause the video. If you don't want to do that, that's okay. Keep watching on. The sort reverse is very... Shut that door. So the sort reverse is just the opposite, like that. So let's just quickly try that.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, so we're in forwards order. Mode 2, gap of 0.3.
10, 9, 8, 7.
Nice. So put it back in order. We'll do the reverse again.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Nice. All right. So that's good. So maybe we'll break the video here before we tackle the shuffle items. Now, I'd definitely like to encourage you to have an attempt at this. I mentioned and I showed you how I did it in the demo video. But yeah, see if you can figure out how to shuffle the items. One thing I'll mention, if you remember from the video, we shuffle the items and then we run the sort forwards again. So I guess that's a hint. Maybe not a very useful hint because the tricky part is embedded in here. But maybe give that a go, and I'll see you in the next video.